Good evening, everyone. This serves as my conclusion video to class and also to our paper that we recently submitted. So, the child that I assessed was a 3-year-old little boy who was very active and rambunctious. Like, I went in there totally like blindsided on how this child was going to act. But the crazy part is he's actually going through some stuff with his family. So his dad recently moved out of the home, even though they're not divorced yet, but the parents are definitely headed in that direction. So it just so happened like this was like the perfect time for me to assess this child because it was like a real life situation, like not just a situation where I would be watching him play and like assessing him that way, but I was able to really like see the emotional state he was in regards to what his family is actually really going through. So like I thought that was like, I don't want to say it's cool because it's not cool of the situation that his family's going through, but it just gave me a little bit more insight on the situation of a child going through like divorce, because apparently that's what their goal is, their actual ending goal is. So oh, but the child was very active, very rambunctious. He is an only child, so that definitely played a factor in the way he acted. Like he was very possessive over all of his things. He really didn't really like to share much. Most of the assessments that I did with him, I did in his room. I wanted to like open up to him in a more comfortable setting before we went outside. We then went outside to the park and I was able to see him interact with other children, and that's when I noticed like he was like super spoiled, possessive, and like definitely um he definitely needed to be around more children because apparently he is not attending daycare and he's with his grandmother and his mom majority of the time. So him being around other children is something that he's not used to doing, and it definitely showed in the way he was acting. So what are the implications to social work of understanding your child's development? Definitely, social work is basically working on the well-being of society, and knowing how society is ever changing, it definitely is a direct reflection on the way our children are going to grow up, because the different milestones that a child is hitting, the factors that a child is experiencing, such as genetic, environmental, hereditary, things that are just things that are naturally occurring in a child's life, is definitely going to shape the way the child is going to act in the future. So I just really feel like knowing how a child develops and the milestones that a child is going to hit sort of sets you up in advance to know what to expect during the growth and the lifespan of a child. Is the ASQ a good tool to use with populations of the Southwest? I definitely felt like the ASQ was a great tool to use, not just only with children of the Southwest, but in general. All of the questions or the little skills that were a part of the ASQ, I felt like any child anywhere are experiencing. Like it just wasn't specific to one group of children living in a certain area of the world. So anything that I asked the child, or anything, or any of the skills that I was trying to do with him, are things that normal children do anyway for the most part. So I don't feel like it was like specific to a population or an area of the world. What did you learn from this experience? Reflect on your experiences. So this was definitely an eye opener for me. I definitely enjoyed working with the child. For the most part, I normally work with adults, and like I've said before, I really am interested in working with veterans or older adults in aging services, but doing this assessment sort of let me know that if I wanted to, I could work with children, but it would just be a little bit more challenging for me because they're so all over the place sometimes. It definitely let me know that if it's something that I wanted to do, it would just take a little bit more. I don't want to say, well, it would definitely take a little bit more knowledge, because I would want to be very in tune with the child that I work with, and I would want to know more about the development of children, because like I said, for the most part I work with adults, so it's a total different environment and a total different like mindset working with children and adults. Like you really have to be prepared for working with children, because there's no right way to do it. Every child is different. Every child learns differently. receives things differently, and it's just a total different experience. Overall, though, I enjoyed the assessment. I definitely feel like it's something that the ASQ is something that I definitely can use in the future. I feel like it's something teachers can use, parents can use, not just social workers, to assess their child, to sort of see where they need to step it up as far as like developmental things with their child, and knowing where their child needs to be in regards to different milestones in their lives. So, again, it was nice meeting you all. Class is over, and I wish everyone the best. Thank you.